Yes, every time I have my glasses.
Well, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And thank you, Jesus. Around that time right here on KAZ Radio, where I have one of my most favorite shows, Sisters of Leisure with Tracey and Michele. Take it away, sisters.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining Sisters of Leisure. It is allergy season. So I'm just let you all know, please take your allergy medicine so your eyes won't be running, your nose, and you won't be itching. Okay, I just thought I'd let y'all know that. But my name is Tracey, and we are living every day and seeking and understanding real events.
And I am Michele, the little sister.
Anyway, I thought in 2022 she would say something different, but she hasn't. We're going to work on that, though. But in the meantime, we have an amazing guest, Yolon Pope. She is the owner of Justbliss byYo. And I say when I met her, we just sparked it off immediately. She is a woman with a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And we are just so honored to have her on our podcast today. So Yolon, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you all for having me. I was so excited. I've been wanting to vibe out with you guys for a minute. So I'm excited about being here. Y'all are so fun. So
thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're on the show too, because it is definitely a pleasure to have such a talent on the show. You know, I mean, we have talented people, but like I really enjoy my product from you. So Yolon, tell us about yourself.
Okay. So I am originally from East Texas, this real small town. I'm a country girl in East Texas called Kilgore, which is about 2 hours outside of Dallas. But I've been in Atlanta for quite a while. I have been a flight attendant for over 31 years. Just celebrated my 31-year anniversary as a flight attendant. But the biggest thing is I am a creative. I am an artist. Mm-hmm. And so I had, we were talking about how did I get started with the journals? Well, the journals actually came from a time where I had shut down creatively. Mm-hmm. And you know how life just kind of happens, things start going on, and the same place that your fight or flight comes from, so does your creative energy they all come from the same place. And so the fight or flight is going to beat out the creative side because your body and everything in you says, I've got to survive whatever I'm going through. And so I had just shut down because I was in a crisis in my life, and creatively nothing was flowing because I had to survive. And so it took me a minute to get myself together. And in 2000, the pandemic hit and everybody kind of was shifting and going through something. And so a friend of mine was going to the beach just to kind of recalibrate and get near some water. And at the beginning of 2021. And she said, you want to ride with me to the beach? And I said, yeah, I do. I said, yeah, I think I need it. I need to get to the ocean. And so I created a journal, just doodling. I love fabrics. I love textures. I love, that's my thing. And so I created a journal for myself to go to the beach. And I wanted to have something special so that, if I heard anything, I was going to be writing it down so that it could spark something. So I took the journal that I created to the beach with me to watch the sunrise come up at 5:30 in the morning. And while sitting there, I began to write. And what I wrote was, as far as the ocean goes, so does the possibilities for your life and for your creativity if you would just allow. Mm-hmm. And the allowing for me was getting out of my own way and just creating. I had gotten so concerned about how I was going to be received and perceived by others concerning my creativity. And so I had to just create without, I say create with reckless, just create. Yeah. Didn't matter how it came out. Didn't matter how it looked. Didn't matter. It wasn't about anybody else receiving it or perceiving it. It was just me allowing the creativity to flow. Mm-hmm. And as I did that, ideas began to flourish. And so, long story short, I came home. One of the really significant things is as I was walking in from sitting out there watching the sunrise come up, there was a straight line of feathers that led me back into where I was staying, which absolutely blew me away, that this straight line of feathers was on the beach, and I picked them up and I brought those feathers home. And I got home and I needed a gift for a friend. And I said, maybe I'll create another journal. I'll create a journal for them. I created a journal for a friend for her birthday. And I got phone calls asking me, where did I buy the journal from? And I said, I made it. And there it went. And so that's where I started from. I started on the beach at 5:30 in the morning and spirit speaking.
Wow.
You know what? Yeah. Go ahead, Tracey. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, by getting out of your own way mm-hmm. and receiving what was coming to you is a beautiful thing, because we always feel like what other people think matters, but you have the gift. That is your gift. Yeah. You were blessed with that gift. So why not use it? It's nobody else's. It's yours.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's your original piece. And I have to say, and you know what? And I'm going to show my journal because I love my journal. This is my journal. And when I bought it, I knew that it was going to have to be like, it was going to have some intention behind what I was going to be putting in here. And so like, I carried it around. I never forget, soon after I bought, matter of fact, I think the day that I bought the journal, I was doing a staycation with my kids, and we, were, in a hotel, and so I had the journal and I was looking and I was like, I didn't even want to write my name in it this quite yet, because I wanted to make sure I had the right pen. I wanted to, make sure that I was doing, it was going to be pretty. It was going to be, because the paper is like wedding paper, like, the paper that you get for an invitation. So I knew it was a good piece of, so I knew, but it meant so much to me that I knew I wanted to, when I wrote in it, it had to have intention behind it. It had to have meaning, because it was such a beautiful piece of art. And, like I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Like, once this is filled up, I got to get another one, because I know, what I'm saying? Like, just imagine the collections of these someone could have and open up and just look and see what they, put in their journal and what they, brought into fruition just by writing it down on here.
One of the things that I always think about is that, I started, when I first started, because I didn't even know what products to use, what materials to use. I just started. I let me just, create. And as time has gone along, I have, of course, kind of perfected some things and have gotten better at, but it has allowed me to, I'm a fashion design major, and it has allowed me to just, it's a journal, because I had to get out of my head and get out of my way and say, well, it's a journal. But I think for me, the more elaborate, the better sometimes, because it's allowing me to just they are pieces of art for me. The fabric, mm-hmm. And one of the things I think, and it happened, I always say, whenever especially I do like the pop-up shops or if I'm at an event with them, because as I'm creating, the fabric speaks to me. Mm. And it's interesting, because I'll have people that'll come up to the table and the first thing they say is that one is speaking to me. Yes. when it happens, something inside me always leaps, because that's what I want to see happen, because it speaks to me. Literally, there's times that I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and there's designs that just, I mean, literally pop off the desk at me, and I'll see a design within a design, and so the fabric speaks to me. I always say that the fabric literally speaks to me, and so for people to walk up and say that the journals are speaking to them, it just does my soul good for that.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're
beautiful.
So amazing. And it's like you say, if it speaks to someone, it's definitely designed for them.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to put in this beautiful journal, see, this is mine right here. It's for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for them. And I've never been a writer, because I always said I don't like to be writing stuff down. But I said, when I use this, I want to use it with intention as well. And there's a purpose behind why I'm using it.
Yeah. I'm a daily journaler. I journal events. I'm better at journaling because I have journals that I'll start and stop. There are people who journal every day, and I think journaling every day is really, really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to just, but that's not how I flow. And so I journal events. And so I was looking at a journal from 2014 when I was really just starting my transition from my marriage, and I wrote in there, what did I write? I said, I'm a mess, is basically what I'm, in a nutshell. I put it a whole lot of stuff. And then I said, I'm just a mess. And I was looking at that the other day, and I started laughing, and I said, wow, you come a long way, girl.
Yeah.
You come a long way. And so they are, basically they are, journals are, they give you the blueprint sometime of how to work your life out. And then it's a healing process, being able to write out, for me to go back and see where I was in 2014, 2015, and to see where I am now. I see that a mighty work has been done.
Mm-hmm.
A mighty healing has taken place.
Yeah.
And so journaling, it really has saved my life, because I have journals where I start and stop, but at the same time, because I journal events, it lets me see the progression in life. And so I just say, don't put any stresses on yourself about, I got to do this, I got to journal. No, whatever. If you feel like writing something today, sometimes it can be one word. Write it and then put it down. Come back to it. Yeah.
And you know what? And I don't really look at what I do in mine is journaling. Well, because I write down. It doesn't necessarily have to be every day, but it will be like something that is really for my business. If I'm writing, if I have an idea that comes to my mind, I want it to be written in this beautiful book. I want it to be written on this beautiful paper. So, when I go back to look on it and see how far I've come, or somebody was to open this book and look at it, it's full of my hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And I want that to be put on, beautiful paper, or holding a, nice pen, like those things, those thoughts, those desires that I have, I want them to go in something that's beautiful, in something that is just as beautiful as the thought or the dream or the aspiration that I might hold inside. So yeah, I use mine not every day, but definitely when something good pops in my brain. I have tons of journals, but I go for this one to really, document, if you,
Yeah.
So
it's like a beautiful story. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a beautiful story because my mother, our mother, she used to journal all the time. I mean, she had years and years and years of journaling and had a great penmanship.
Yeah.
Because she cursive wrote, you know. But if she would have had something like this, Lord have mercy, she would have loved it. Loved it, you know.
Yeah.
But what else do you do besides journals?
So I make I do the t-shirts. I have t-shirts. I dabble into reconstructing clothing. I have a love for vintage clothing. I mean, I've always loved vintage clothing. So, you know, I take vintage clothing and I reconstruct them. For a while there, I made suits and tailoring them for women. And so I had a boutique before online was big. I was doing trunk shows. And so I kind of had, like I said, I had kind of shut everything down. Sometimes you hit a season in your life where you gotta sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, better way of, you just gotta sit down somewhere, get still, get quiet, and allow real healing to take place so that you can shift. And so I hit that season. And I had to just sit and get quiet, get still. It didn't feel like I was quiet and still. And I kind of went into it kicking and screaming. And the more I kicked and screamed, the longer I stayed in it. But as soon as I embrace that time of solitude, in a sense, because what happens is that sometimes when you are a creative person, you are creative. For me, I don't know about how other people flow, but for me, I kind of, when I get into it, I kind of throw everything in it. And, you know, if I have other distractions going on, other stuff going on, my flow is off. My flow is off as well. And so I just had to get quiet for a while. And that quiet for a while turned into a couple of years. But I'm grateful. I am grateful because out of that has emerged. And now, you know, it's sometimes I have to just kind of like, I have so many ideas that are flowing and coming, that I have to just kind of like, okay, bring it in. But I'm grateful that the creative side of me is flowing again and ideas are coming. But I also, like I said, I do the journals as well as clothing. And, you know, I have, I've been sensing that there are art pieces coming. I've dabbled a little bit, don't know what medium, and that that I sorry y'all.
That's okay.
She left. It's okay. It's okay. But you know, but one thing she was saying is about, you know, being able to be quiet and sit. And I feel like a lot of times when we do sit and quiet ourselves, that's when we get the ideas. That's when we get.
You can hear clearer at that moment. When you're always on the move and you're doing this and doing that, you can't hear what God has to say. You can't hear anything because you're totally distracted.
Yeah.
But when you're able to, and sometimes it's hard to be still. A lot of people aren't ready to do that. You have to really be willing to, you have to be willing and ready to be still. You just got to move your phone around again, and your volume is, your volume.
Oh, she's on mute. Okay, there we go.
We good? I'm
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's just that you're not centered, but that's okay. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but we were
sorry.
just saying that, you know, a lot of
Okay.
times people don't want to quiet themselves.
Yeah,
It's-
people don't want to get still. They don't want to get still. They don't want to because first of all, healing takes courage.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Healing takes courage. It does. It takes courage to go through the process of sometimes the ugliness of healing and looking
and
really
forgiving yourself too at the
forgiving
same time.
forgiving others, taking a real look at yourself, taking a look at you know, and you know, really taking a look at your life. And so it is a process, but it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. And when you begin the shift, really begin the shift and see your life as half full and filling instead of empty, and it is a beautiful. I can look back now, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I went through the metamorphosis. I mean,
Yeah.
came out of a cocoon, and I feel like I came from, like I said, like a butterfly. Was in a cocoon and in a web, and actually coming out of that and having wings to really fly now. It is an amazing feeling. It is really an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Because it can be ugly, and sometimes we don't. And sometimes, like I know with my life, I didn't know what that looked like. I just thought, just being nice to people, and just being a yes woman or whatever, and not really taking time to understand what is going on in my head, and what am I supposed to be doing? What is my calling? How can I glorify? Who am I to add to this earth? It was definitely a time to be quiet, and a time to settle in, and a time to pay attention to me. And so but yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But I did want to ask, are there duplicates? Do you duplicate your creation, or are they all custom made?
They're all custom made, and I always say this, I do similar, but no two are ever alike.
Okay.
No two, they just, I set out to make two, and there's going to always be something different about the other one. They may look the same, but there's going to be something slightly different. That's just how it flows for me. Yeah.
So how do you find your material?
Oh Lord. And so I find fabric everywhere. I had some of my coworkers and friends who travel to Africa. I've done a couple of Africa trips, and they bring me fabric back from Ghana. I've had fabric brought back from South Africa. I find fabric, vintage pieces of clothing. Some of it is pieces of clothing that I take, and there's one of the things that I really I found. So they're Persian rugs, and they're pieces of Persian rugs, and what they call them salt bags, and they would use the salt bags to and put salt in it to feed what did he say, like when they were out in the desert, and they would put salt in these bags and then add the salt to the feed or to the water to help preserve their cattle and out in the desert. And so they have these beautiful they call salt bags, but they're actually made out of Persian rugs. Over there, they actually throw them all. They're so hardy and thick, these rugs are. They throw them on the roofs and everything. And there I found a guy that was selling these salt bags. And so I bought them with another idea in mind. And one day I sat down and was looking at it. And of course I began to see all of these different patterns and shapes. And so I started to use these salt bags to make part of the journal. So the fabric comes from everywhere. I mean, I've taken paper, beautiful, different types of textured paper, and I use paper. It just everything. I don't, if I can figure out a way to use it, I use everything. I use everything. That's the of for me, being able to flow creatively, and one, like I said, each one feels like a little mini piece of art for me. Just being able to take the textures and the colors and see it all come together. It's just like they're art pieces for me.
They are
Awesome.
They really are.
Yeah. I just want to say your name is so unique. How did your parents come up with that beautiful name?
Okay, I'm gonna tell my business. Truth telling here. Funny story. I'm from, like I said, I am from the country. I'm from a real small town in East Texas. And my birth name, I'm gonna say my government name is Yolanda.
Okay, Yolanda. Okay.
And so we were sitting, and my mom, I was probably maybe, I don't know, probably about 10, 11 years old. We were sitting in a doctor's office, and the lady kept saying, Yolanda Pope, Yolanda Ford. Yolanda kept calling my name, and I'm sitting there and I'm not moving. And finally my mother looks at me and she said, she's calling your name. I said, that is not the name that you gave me. So I am not answering to that. So as I told her, and I always was interested in fashion, always was interested in fashion. And so I told my mother that I needed a name that could stand alone. And so I changed my name. I changed my name when I was a teenager to Yolon.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
That's how Yolon came about. So
beautiful. So how can people find you and maybe order a journal from you?
So I am in the process of working on a website. And but you can go to I'm on Instagram at justbliss.byyo, or you can go to my webpage, my Instagram page, and that's Yolon Pope. And just send me a message and I can send you pictures. So I am in the process of working on the webpage and figuring out, like I said, since no two are alike, it has been a challenge for me in figuring out how to set up a website with the journals, because once one is gone, that's it. No two are alike. So I'm working on it, but definitely go to Instagram, justbliss.byyo, or my personal Instagram page, which is Yolon Pope.
Yeah, because people out there, these journals, are perfect for if you are for church. You know what I'm saying? You want to write down your what you need for your sermon, for just for anything, just really, like, mine is full of business stuff, and goals. And if you're not writing down your goals and just ideas, it's time to start doing that. I feel everyone needs to do that,
Yeah.
So I definitely, suggest you contact Yolon Pope or justbliss.yo justbliss.yo and get the journal. That's it.
That's it. Well, you know what, everyone? We are thankful to have you on Sisters of Leisure. Thank you so much. You have been a great supporter of us, and we really do appreciate you so very much.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I don't know if she can hear.
Okay. Thank you all for having. This was so fun. Thank you. I was looking forward to it. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you so very much. Don't forget, go to Justbliss.byyo on Instagram and get you a journal and write your goals and aspirations. What do you want? Your purpose should be in this book.
Because it's supposed to be written down and clear.
Yeah,
right?
That's what the Bible said.
Yeah. So
write it down, make it plain. That's what the Bible said.
Write it down, make it plain.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate you. Thank you again. And